Hello and welcome to Black and White Cairo Ministries, where Christ is meeting you in a personal view. This is the eve of All Saints. And with the toll of the bell, we are brought into the understanding that there's something going on in a very short period of time. There's going to be people knocking on your door. Children are going to open up and they're going to be decorated in all these different costumes, and they're going to say, "Trick or treat." And they're going to expect something in return. Candy, hopefully. Halloween is something that children look forward to all over. Not just in the United States, but throughout the world. So many different variations, but all the central theme. You dress up in a costume. You go to different people's homes and neighborhoods, and you ask for something in return. You ask for some candy. I'm glad that we're having this right here at a church, because I want you to understand that Halloween is deeply related to Christianity. And we're going to talk a little bit about why Halloween has come to be this scary thing, and why do people dress up? Why do they go around asking for things like candy? And these are questions that we need to answer. Halloween is actually following a pagan festival that occurred many, many, many years ago, before the 7th century. And it was Pope Gregory IV who decided that the feast for the Christian holiday would be transferred in the year of the 9th century. It was in the 800s. And he did this so that he could bring the pagan festival to a more truer understanding and a relationship with the church. So I ask you, why do people dress up for Halloween? It's tied in with the ritual itself. The pagan understanding of their understanding of Samhain, which was a Celtic ritual, related people dressing up in costumes so that they would not be detected by the souls that were released through the underworld. It was the end of the summer, and the pagans would have this harvest ritual, and in doing so they would unlock the mysteries of the supernatural, and those souls that had died before would be released, and not only the souls of those who had departed, but also some really weird type of creations. They started talking about fairies and witches and all of these types of things. Christians relate it with the church because they knew that ultimately Halloween was related to All Saints on November 1st. The hallowed eve always fell on the evening before All Saints. So October 31st is when that occurred. They would dress up in their costumes because they didn't want to be recognized by maybe some family members who had died before, that perhaps they weren't doing everything they could to release them from purgatory. So they went from door to door asking for a soul cake so that people would give them something that would help them release their loved ones. And if they happened to bump into a soul of somebody they didn't really want to bump into, by having a costume on, there's a good chance that they wouldn't recognize them. So now you understand why we came to this understanding of costumes, and also where we get the idea of having candy. It follows that giving of a soul cake. The church has always adhered to, since the 9th century, or actually I should say since the 7th century, a relationship of the hallowed eve of All Saints in relationship to the faithfully departed. And when we pray for the faithfully departed, we are leading up to this festive and holy occasion. Hallowed means holy. So when people go around enjoying Halloween, they're really enjoying the hallowed eve of All Saints. Let's see, what else can I tell you about it? The whole thing with the pumpkins is related again to the pagan festival of the harvest. The witches and the vampires and the fascination with werewolves and all like that, that's a lot of Hollywood, and it's still related to a very secular pagan ritual. That really wasn't imported by the church. and it's certainly nothing that we would want to focus on. But I think that we can teach people the understanding that Hallowed Eve of All Saints is about remembering the people that we love. It's about remembering them, and it's about telling people of their story. And so I would encourage you for Halloween to spend a particular segment, maybe when you come back with all your loot, maybe when you're about to go out or you're having dinner. Why don't you start a new ritual, and that is to remember a couple of people who died in your family who were Christian, who loved the Lord, and who sacrificed much of their life with that faith and that tradition. So that would probably be a good practice for you. And then as you go from house to house, don't subscribe to the idea of purgatory. The church has pretty much dismissed all that. But do understand that you are a messenger as you go house to house of the memorial of those who have faithfully departed. I hope you enjoyed this teaching session, and I hope that you have a very festive, hallowed Eve. May God be with you, keep you safe, and bring you back into the understanding that the church is very present with this special and holy day. Go forth in the name of Christ.